As predicted, Bitcoin gets bullish momentum October 14th. All right, so I'll show you guys the clip where I predicted that in one of my previous videos, but look at this pump. This is looking good in the short term. We're getting above this 21 SMA line, this simple moving average line. Typically in a bull markets, we're way above it. Like this, we have been way above that line. But then, of course, recently we've been dipping below it, which typically only happens in bear markets. So we definitely do not want to stay below there very long at all. We've already been down there for, June, July, and then August, even in September. So we got to be really, really, really careful. But it's good that we're getting a pump out of there. We're getting a little bit of volume. Nothing to get too excited about yet. But yeah, we're going to have a lot more to talk about. We're going to be talking about the other technical analysis on the chart, as well as my previous prediction. So let's take a look at this. But welcome back to the Crypto Astro channel, bringing a radical, innovative new approach to crypto analysis, combining technical analysis with astrology. But none of this content is financial or investment advice. This content is intended for entertainment purposes only. Okay, here's the previous video. Let's take a listen here. Make sure the audio's on. Okay. Then we're getting October 15th. Very positive. Saturn sextiling the Bitcoin sun. That's looking good. That could bring us more bullish momentum in October. Then we're getting Pluto conjuncting the Bitcoin Jupiter. That's in orbs. That's a minor positive, but we'll take that. All right, so there you go. October 15th, Saturn sextile the Bitcoin sun. Now, the only interesting thing, the reason I said October 14th is because I am actually in Southeast Indonesia, and on my astrology, it's actually in Indonesia time. So the 15th is Indonesian time, but this Saturn sextile the Bitcoin sun is actually October 14th, American time. I believe also probably European time. But if you're in Asia, it's the 15th. So there's that. But this transit, this very positive transit, is in orb through the end of the year. So it's nice that we're getting a pump right now on the direct hit. So direct hit today, and then it'll still be in orb all the way till really through December. But it gets a second. It's actually a third direct hit for the whole year because we got another one back in March. So it's the third direct hit for this year. October 16th, Southeast Asia time. December 16th, but it's also December 15th, American time. Okay, so let's dive into a little bit more technical analysis. We're getting that nice pump. Let's go to the weekly. We zoom out. And so we're getting this very nice pump, and we want to continue this. It's good news that the previous week, it did sell all the way down to 58,800, but then it got bought back up aggressively, all the way back up past 62,800. So that's potentially, this wick potentially shows bullish momentum heading into next week, at least for the short term. And then if we look at the RSI, the weekly RSI, so we got 3 touches here on this trend line. And so we have broken out of this trend line, which is bullish, and we are potentially getting support above this moving average right here. So that's potentially showing we could be heading upwards at some point. Now, the really interesting thing, I was talking about this last video, is that, we were waiting on this stochastic RSI close for this week. I'm going to zoom in. And as you can see, the last video we're talking about here, we're like, are they going to cross? They did end up crossing. So that actually brings some more concern to the table. And so there's a lot of mixed signals. I know people in the videos just want me to tell you exactly what's going to happen. You're like, I can't handle the unpredictability. But guys, if you can't handle the unpredictability, then you got to get out of this crypto game, because this is highly unpredictable and highly volatile. game that we're playing here, okay? And in my opinion, we have to always be prepared for both scenarios. And what happens in this game of trading? Price either goes down or price goes up. We got to be prepared for both scenarios, guys. Okay? Hate to say it. Hate to be the bearer of truthful information. But yeah, I mean, so we are getting mixed signals here. It's a little bit tricky, that's for sure. We did get this cross. Typically, that is bearish. Now, the only positive thing that could happen is if we flip back up. And that has happened before historically. We could go back in the history books, but even if you take a look at here, like, this cross down, this was bearish. This was back in June. June heading into July was not a bullish time. That was bearish. So we saw Bitcoin dump there. Then it crossed back up, but then it faked out, crossed back down. Then it crossed up, and then it faked out back down, and then it crossed up again. And we're getting another possible fake out here, guys. So this is a very, very, very volatile, very, very difficult time in the market. Okay, guys? And historically, at least for me, when I look back at very difficult times in the market, meaning very unpredictable, a lot of uncertainty, not sure where the markets are going to go. I think about times like this back last year, this area, I remember feeling all kinds of emotions and confusion. This is where we did have Mercury Retrograde happen at the end of August. We got that dump during this Mercury Retrograde. We went below this 21 simple moving average, which typically only happens in bear markets. But we definitely, when you go down below there, you definitely don't want to hang out there for long. So luckily thankfully we did break out of there within about a month, it looks like. Oh, actually a couple months. Wow, we were down there for a couple months. So there's still hope, guys. I mean, if we were down there for a couple months in last year, it could happen again. And we're already seeing that where we're at right now. But I remember this mentally, emotionally was very challenging. This dump felt very painful. I made a little bit of a mistake there. Well, we did end up getting a dump before the Mercury Retrograde, which actually has happened a couple times and can throw us off. Mercury Retrograde can bring a lot of volatility, a lot of unpredictability, but typically it brings a dump or even sideways price action. Only 25% of the time it is bullish, more bullish in a bull market. Now we are getting Mercury Retrograde again November 25th. So I will keep you guys alert on that. And definitely subscribe if you guys want to stay updated on my latest updates for November, which will be happening in a few weeks. And I'll tell you guys all about what I'm seeing in the astrology next month. And Mercury Retrograde. And then we're also going to get Mars Retrograde, which can bring some very interesting things in the market as well. And I'll explain that to you in future videos. So definitely hit that subscribe button and stick around and come along for the ride. Okay, so yeah, we hung out down here. This is very confusing. And this was actually a great buying opportunity. Not financial advice, but if I look back on this historically, that was a great buying opportunity. All right. Luckily, I think I was all in at that point. I did experience that dump, which was painful, but it went back up. Other times when there was a tremendous amount of volatility was right here. That was a great, I personally think that was a good buying opportunity for me and my strategy. This obviously, the bear market low was obviously a great buying opportunity. A tremendous amount of confusion there. Everybody thought we were going to 12K. Just about everybody and their mother were saying they're not going to buy any until we go below 12K. It's coming. Even around here and even up here, people were saying we're still going to go down below 12K. All right. So, I mean, in my opinion, typically these times of confusion, these times where people are getting very emotional, people are starting to get really impatient, I take those opportunities as buy opportunities. Okay, guys? And so I have been accumulating, I got a really nice accumulation around here. I got more up here. I've been accumulating altcoins, very specific altcoins that I believe are of potentially 10x, 20x potential. And I will be reviewing the updated list of my special list of altcoins with 10x to 20x potential on my call, my private Crypto Astro Mastermind call, and that's coming up tomorrow, guys, in about how many hours? About 18 hours from now, less than 24 hours. I'm going to be giving that private call, and we're going to be diving into the updated list. And I have 3 more altcoins that I'm adding to the list. All right. And there's already a list of at least 10. And these are potentially very, very, very high value picks here. All right. If I don't say so myself, and I am personally invested. But, you know, once again, I have to say, not financial advice. You could lose all your money. These altcoins could go to zero. So they are high risk, but high reward. And in my opinion, I mean, one of the reasons I'm investing in some of these is because, you know, Bitcoin might do a 2x, and that's like the really bullish case from here. Whereas some of these picks, like I said, could do 10x or even more. So arguably, you know, I personally think it's a pretty good bet. All right, so if you want to get access to that, definitely check out the link below in the description box. Click that link, go to the page, look at all the information. And I am giving you guys a special coupon code for the next person who signs up. We got one more spot, and you use this coupon code. You click you go to the checkout page. You use the coupon code to the moon. That's to the moon, just like people say in this crypto game. Type in that coupon code at the bottom of the checkout page, and you will get a very nice discount. All right, that is for you, special for you, for the next person who signs up. Got one more spot for that, all right, guys? All right. Where shall we go next? All right, I also wanted to look at some other really interesting information. We'll look at the total crypto market cap. We're getting a little increase of volume there. But let's take a look at what we're seeing with the stochastic RSI. This one, the total crypto market cap looks like we're breaking out of a potential trend line here as well. Yeah, sure looks like it. We get 3 hits there on this trend line. So we're potentially breaking out of that trend line. That's looking good. But let's see if we have, yep, look, we have another mixed signal here. Because with this, we're seeing that stochastic RSI cross down. Typically, that's pretty bearish. Not 100% of the time, but more often than not, that's bearish. We could have more time to go before we go back up. Because typically, you know, if we're in really bullish territory, we want to see it cross up and get all the way up here. We haven't seen that since February, March. All right, we haven't seen it since the all-time high for Bitcoin. All right, so we have more work to do. Let's go to total crypto market cap minus Bitcoin. Same thing. Total crypto market cap minus Bitcoin and Ethereum. Same thing. Wow. Now let's look at others, which is just all of the smaller altcoins. Ooh, that's really interesting. We're almost, it looks like we are potentially getting it across. It's right on the edge. Well, we probably have to wait another week to see if the total crypto market cap, excluding the top 10 coins, if this is going to turn out to be across down, or if we're going to just continue to stay up here, which is possible. So that's really interesting to look at. What else shall we look at here? Let's look at Ethereum. Ooh, Ethereum also got, I mean, that's not looking so great. Unless it's crossing back up, but you know, you can see here, we are indeed getting a stochastic RSI cross down, but very, very, very subtly. And in the bullish case, it could head back up, but overall, it's not great that we're seeing that cross. So we could have some more weeks to go, if not months to go, before the mega banana zone time. Look at Solana. Solana got the cross down too. It's not looking great. All right, so just to be aware of. XRP on the weekly is going down. That's interesting. Huh. Okay, so XRP is already crossed, going down. I'm thinking, I mean, if this heads back down here to the bottom, that could be, I'm thinking that could be a buying opportunity, but not financial advice. Renders crossing down too. All right, so definitely some caution there, but I am mostly all in. So, but I have my stop losses, okay, guys? I do have my risk management in check. And, you know, you got to make sure that you're not too overexposed, especially if you're a more cautious investor. All right, so once again, the Crypto Astro Mastermind call is happening in about 18 hours from now. I'll be giving critical updates for the Bitcoin astrology in November and December. Some really interesting things. You can get an early heads up about what's coming up there with Mercury retrograde and Mars retrograde. And Mars is going to be opposing Pluto. All right. And this actually has not happened in more than 20, or no, wow. It hasn't happened since 2007 and 2008 that we've gotten. Not that just that we've just gotten, here, I'll show you guys. Mars, let's go to transits. So heading up here, November 3rd, guys, this is crazy. On the day of the election, we're getting this massive kind of conflict energy with very intense, emotionally intense planet of Pluto. That's all about power and the phoenix rising from the ashes and destruction and rejuvenation and death and rebirth. And then we have Mars, the god of war. You know, the super assertive, action-taking energy, very fiery, passionate. They're opposing each other at 29 degrees. Pluto and Capricorn, which is very intense, and Mars is not happy in the sign of Cancer. It's in the sign of Cancer, so, and this is very not good energy. But the crazy thing is that Mars is going to be, it's going to go ahead and then it's going to retrograde. You know, it's going to go into Leo and then it's going to start retrograding backwards, and then it's going to square Pluto again 2 more times. And we haven't had it happen like this since 2008, and we all know what happened in 2008. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm not saying we're heading into a great financial crisis, but it's just we gotta understand the energy that we're dealing with, guys. All right, so it's very intense. So if you want my much deeper analysis on this, definitely sign up for the Crypto Astro Mastermind. Get on the live call tomorrow. For me, it's my morning time, but it's evening time in California, United States time zone. All right. Shall we wrap this video up with a nice little song? I apologize, in my last video, the Morning Star song did not play. I was disappointed in that I messed up and I didn't get the audio right. But yeah, why don't we just do this, guys? Why don't we look at some, just play some epic music while I'm looking at some charts here. All right, sound good? I'm gonna play the Morning Star song. Now this song came on, or I intuitively kind of created this song in one of my videos, and then one of my amazing clients, actually, who's in the Crypto Astro Mastermind, he took my voice and he created this song with it, and it's pretty epic. And we definitely got some fans out there of this song too. So thanks for tuning in, guys. And after the song, I can answer some of your questions. All right. Morning Star. I don't know. It sounds like there could be a good song about Morning Star. Morning Star, the Morning Star. Tune into the Morning Star. The Morning Star, the Morning Star. Tune into the Morning Star. The Morning Star, the morning star. Tune into the morning star. Morning star, the morning star. Tune into the morning star. Morning star, the morning star. Tune into the morning star. Morning star, the morning star. Tune into the morning star. Morning star, the morning star. Tune into the morning star. All right. Who likes the morning stars? Let me know. Okay, a couple comments here. What do I predict for Solana? Solana's looking good overall. Yeah, I am bullish on Solana. It's one of my biggest bags. You like to look at probabilities based on multiple data points. It definitely helps to make data-driven decisions rather than emotional reaction. Yes. Yes. In my opinion, the most successful investors are able to make data-driven decisions based on technical analysis, based on astrology, rather than just being emotional, which is more common with inexperienced investors. Does the market take a correction on the 20th of October? I don't remember mentioning that, but let's see. I mean, it's definitely, I mean, I have mentioned many times it's definitely possible that we will see a correction in October or November. There's just a lot of volatility. There's a very high value chart that I showed in my, I believe in a couple videos ago, where it showed peak volatility in October, right around now actually. So I was thinking we could definitely get some kind of world event or a big dump in the markets. But it's really interesting. Mars is opposing the Bitcoin Jupiter on November 3rd, as well as Mars is opposing Pluto, just where Pluto is the planet in the sky. So November 3rd is looking very volatile and a potential dump. Also, Jupiter squaring the Bitcoin Uranus on November 14th. So the volatility could actually quite easily carry out into November, particularly with crypto and maybe the greater markets as well. But I can do a much deeper dive analysis on that in my private Crypto Astro Mastermind video tomorrow, where we can look at, what I like to do is I like to look at the NASDAQ astrology, I like to look at the Tesla astrology, the NVIDIA astrology, the S&P 500, to really get a feel for what could be, you know, when a dump might occur, whether it's October, November, or something, or maybe later. So I'll be diving much deeper into that. So I go much further than just crypto astrology. Go dive into the macro markets as well, which can be really, really interesting. Okay. Great song. Yes. Thanks for tuning in. So glad I was able to actually play the song this time. The last video didn't do so well. All right. So thanks everybody for tuning in. Definitely subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks a bunch, and I will see you on the next video. Peace.